Hello and welcome. My name's Curtis Hall. I'm excited to spend a few minutes with you here and give you a brief introduction to the Blue Ocean Business Group. I'm currently the Vice President of Business Development for Avisae, and I'll talk a little bit as we go here about the unique partnership between Avisae and the Blue Ocean Business Group. We've really gone to work here and created a very unique platform and therefore an incredibly unique opportunity that people can take advantage of that are looking to move their life ahead financially. So a couple of questions I would preface this with right up front, and that is that the mind's kind of like a parachute. If it's not open, it doesn't work. So I ask you to just open your mind up a little bit to really look at this for what it is and look at the differences. I know there's a lot of opportunities out there, and most of them aren't that unique. I'll be honest with you. I've seen so many. It's unbelievable in my lifetime, just like you have. But there's some real unique aspects to what we do here with the Blue Ocean Business Group that I think that you're going to connect with, that you're going to understand, and that you're really going to like. When it's all said and done, the purpose of our conversation today is to have you take a look at where you're at financially and look at what you need to do to get from where you're at to where you're ultimately trying to get to. And in the process of that, understanding that in order to make that happen, you're going to have to produce enough assets so that when you get to that point in time, those assets will then work for you so that you don't have to continue to work. And so that's the goal that we all have financially, to get to the point of whether you want to call it retirement or whatever you want to call it, enjoying your life or having options. It really becomes, for me, more a question of what kind of options can we have if we were able to write our own ticket and do what we wanted to do and have some true freedom in our life. What would we want our lives to look like if we could do that? And then attach a dollar figure to that and say, what would it take in order to make that happen? And are there some opportunities that truly exist out there that will allow me to get from where I'm at to where I want to be in building those assets quickly and more effectively than the way I'm currently doing it. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there that are currently working to accomplish that. They have something that they love to do, and they're working, and they have a plan. Most people don't. And I'm not beating up on anyone or putting anybody down. It's just the reality is that the only way you can create assets is to either buy assets or build assets. And frankly, most people aren't doing either one of those. They don't have enough extra money to buy any assets, and we're currently involved in a program that's helping them build an asset, so they end up in a situation where they really pretty much work from paycheck to paycheck. And we want to change that process for people and allow people access to the things that they need access to in order to efficiently and effectively make that happen in a timely way. So that's what the Blue Ocean Business Group is really all about. The Blue Ocean Business Group, the philosophy of the Blue Ocean Business Group lined up and was in alignment with a book called The Blue Ocean Strategy. And the Blue Ocean Strategy talked about highly successful companies and what made those companies successful. And they found that there were some major differences in the culture of companies who are highly profitable, who simply wiped out or eliminated the competition and created high profit potential, and those companies who just were in business, who struggled day to day. They tried to get by, they competed with everybody else, they did the same kind of advertising, they did the same kind of whatever they did, and they just competed on a daily basis and really capped themselves and limited themselves in their upside potential. And those were red ocean companies. And they call it red ocean because the waters are bloodied with companies that are like that. Whereas there's only a few companies out there that have separated themselves into blue ocean opportunities. So I would suggest that you do take some time, get a hold of the book, The Blue Ocean Strategy, and have a few minutes to read it, and so that you can see how what we've put together aligns itself with this whole concept of this blue ocean strategy. So the thought process behind the Blue Ocean Business Group was to create a very unique platform, and within that platform, allow you and I, people like us, just average, everyday people who wanted to move our lives ahead financially, an opportunity to be in business for ourselves, but work collectively with a group of people in the decisions that got made and the things that we needed to do to effectively accomplish that. So it's a very unique platform that we all have access to, where we all collectively can come and share ideas and collectively work together. Although we are independent business owners, we can collectively work together with the experiences that we've had, with the contacts that we have, with the information that we have access to, products and goods and services, whatever it might be, to make it better for everybody as a whole. So the Blue Ocean Business Group is really a unique platform where we actually have representation as well through a board of directors, and that board of directors is voted on by the members of the Blue Ocean Business Group. And that representation is then passed on to a partnership with Avisae, which is a marketplace that provides the good services and things, tools, and so on that you need to have a successful business. They are passed on through the Blue Ocean Business Group to this company by the name of Avisae that I'll talk about in a few minutes here. And they are then working together collectively, synergistically, to make those things happen. So typically what you're going to find when you see opportunities like this in the channel commerce industry, you'll have a company that comes out. That company is very one-sided and one-dimensional. And because they're one-sided and one-dimensional, they end up basically being concerned about their profit and what they can do, and are never really ultimately that concerned with what happens to the independent business owners and how the decisions that they make as a company can affect those independent business owners. So the first thing that we wanted to do first and foremost was make sure that we created a unique organization and a unique partnership that would allow for the greatest opportunity for collaborative success between the Blue Ocean Business Group, all of you, and all the representation of these business owners, and Avisae, the marketplace that serves up and provides the goods and services necessary to make it a profitable venture. So it's a very unique platform to do that. The reason that we've put that together, and I hinted to this a little bit in the beginning, was because we wanted to help people really make a major change in their financial landscape in the next 2 to 5 years. So if we could take a snapshot of the next 2 to 5 years and ask the question, if you just continue to do what you're doing right now, what's it going to look like 5 years from now? I think most of us would probably have a pretty good idea of what that means, because all we have to do is look at someone that's been doing what we've been doing 5 years longer than we've been doing it, and that's probably pretty much where we'll be. I tell people all the time, take the 5 people that you hang out with the most, add up all the income that they make and divide it by 5, and that's probably about how much money you make. So a lot of times we get trapped through association on our financial limitations. We don't have opportunity to grow because we don't spend time around people or with people who expand the way we think, who help us to see beyond what we see in our day-to-day activities, and therefore we never grow out of that financially. So one of the things that we ask you more than anything else is, you know what, if you dared to dream a little bit, if you just dared to really look at the possibilities, what would your life look like in 5 years? Would you just totally be out of debt and not have any debt and any worries, and right on down to including your home, having all the cars paid for, having your vacations paid for ahead of time? If you knew you could afford to go anywhere you wanted next year and take 7 days or 14 days and take off with the family and go where you wanted to go, where would you go? And if you got there and loved it, could you stay longer than you were planning? I mean, just opportunities to really craft your own decisions when it comes to what it is you want to do. You know, what are the charities that you want to be involved with? Charities are a function of 2 things. Number one, they need people who can give time to those charities as well as money. And a lot of times we either have one or the other, but we don't have both. And so, you know, could we create an opportunity here in the next 2 to 5 years that you could take advantage of so that you could give more to those things that matter to you most? And you know, we already talked about automobiles and, you know, investments and retirement, and those things are critical to what we do. In fact, it's one of the separating factors, I think, in what we do, is looking at the long-term aspects of creating assets that will work for you. So most people are currently in a situation, if you look at this cash flow quadrant, where they are an employee or self-employed. 95% of the workforce in North America is on the left side of this quadrant. And so if you look over here on the right side, where you're dealing with business owners and investors, you have two completely different and opposing opportunities. On one side, you have 95% of the people who are engaged in those activities on the left side, but only control 5% of the wealth. And yet on the other side, you have only 5% that are participating, but control 95% of the wealth. So how do we take anybody that's out there that has ambition, that has a dream, that really wants to get focused, that's a hard worker, that has a lot of great qualities to them, but they just don't know how to channel those into the right direction? We've built a platform for you to channel those into as a business owner and long-term as an investor, and create long-term assets for you that will work for you when you get to the point in time where you may not even be working those things. They will continue to work for you. So that's really what this is all about, because that's what we feel makes a blue ocean opportunity. So we looked at this and we got outside of the box. We collectively got together with some of the leading money earners and business people that we've ever been associated with, multimillionaires, like I said, responsible for over $1 billion in business, very big players in the industry. And we began to look and ask ourselves and think outside of the box, guys, if we were going to craft an opportunity from the ground up, what would it look like? And we realized quickly that it needed to create, it couldn't be a one-tiered opportunity. So most businesses that are out there that are even remotely similar, and there's really none that are close to what we do, but for those that are somewhat similar, they offer a one-dimensional approach where they may have some products, they may have some kind of a commission structure, some supply chain management, a way to track the volume. They may or may not have some international expertise, some customized websites. And I'm not saying to devalue that in any way, shape, or form, because those are necessary things to have in business that everybody needs access to. Most people don't have access to that unless they have, want to go out and spend $10,000, $20,000, $100,000 or more to create those things. We've already created all that. Now, that in and of itself doesn't make us unique. What then makes us unique is adding to that a tier 2 plan that's in place, that's part of this dimensional approach, that now provides an educational platform, and not just any educational platform. This is a platform where you literally have access to people who don't have theories. It's accessing people who literally have the experience, who have already done it, who you can be around, associate with, listen to, and be part of a true partnership with in the Blue Ocean Business Group, where we can collectively work arm in arm, hand in hand with those kind of individuals to learn what it is that we need to learn to take the Tier 1 opportunity and take the greatest advantage of that opportunity that exists. So it's a very unique platform to have access to this Tier 2. And I'm not talking about, oh yeah, you have a CD to listen to once in a while to pump you up and get you excited, or you go to a seminar and cheer a few times. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a system and a systemized approach to building and developing a successful, long-term, sustainable business. So that's what Tier 2 is all about. And then we move on to something that's vitally important that no one else is doing in the industry, and that's giving you access to the financial education, the asset management, and the investment vehicles by top-notch professionals in the industry who know what they're doing, so that you can then take the money that you're beginning to create and the cash flow that you're beginning to develop and have something that you can then do with it to leverage your money now, not just your time. So the first thing we're going to talk about is leveraging your time. How do you take and build a business that will allow you to leverage your time? And then how do you then take the dollars that are produced from that effort and put them into an opportunity to then leverage your money. When you can truly do both of those things and not have them detract from one another, a lot of times people make money, but then they try to invest it, they lose their money, they spend all their time trying to get their money back, and they take their eye off what made the money in the first place, and then you have two competing opportunities there, and they don't work together. So we have to have an opportunity where those two things can work together, where you can continue to maintain and build a successful business and successful cash flow, and then let someone else who truly understands the financial opportunities that exist out there control that side of it. So we have an opportunity for those of you that want to participate in it. It's obviously completely optional, but an opportunity to deal with some incredibly successful people. A man by the name of Ron Simmons. He's currently the chairman of the board of the Blue Ocean Business Group. He's been in the world of finance for 25 plus years, currently manages just under $2 billion in assets. And, he tells us all the time, why the rich keep getting richer, because they have access to greater opportunities and they have the money to take advantage of those opportunities. And so a lot of times when we see that happen, it's just because we don't have access to those things. So what we want to do through this unique platform at the Blue Ocean Business Group, and I hope you catch this, is we want to give you unique access that you couldn't get anywhere else. And that unique access when it comes to the investment world is the fact that we get a chance to work with people like Ron Simmons and that investment group to help manage that and help you see where you're at and what you need to do financially to move yourself forward. So it's not just about making money, it's about knowing what to do with that, so that we're combining those two to create a true asset for the future. So let's talk first and foremost here about this business called Avisae and this Tier 1 marketplace. So Avisae is a very unique company. In fact, there's not another company like it, because Avisae, because of its partnership with this Blue Ocean Business Group, it makes up a very unique, synergistic opportunity where we can work hand in hand with business owners like yourself to implement products, goods, services, and strategies that can be utilized for the greatest opportunity for success. One of the things that we learned as we read this book, The Blue Ocean Strategy, they had a concept in there that was called value innovation. And value innovation simply defined what we were already doing as a company and what we were asked to do by the Blue Ocean Business Group. And that was to find highly profitable products, goods, and services that could be offered up and reduce costs, and also increase value of those to create what we call a value innovation proposition. So we took that on and said, yes, we think we can go out and do that. So we went out and we started to look at the product strategy and implementation of that effectively to help you build your business. And what we came up with was a solution to create a house of brands, not a branded house. We don't want to be a one-product wonder. We don't want to be the company that comes out with this incredibly unique product that we found in the top of some mountain somewhere, and it was a berry, and we dried it and we put it in something and we froze it or whatever we did, and all of a sudden we have this unique drink and you drink it and it changes the world. That is not us. We don't think that's long term. It's not sustainable. It just doesn't work long term. So we knew that our strategy had to be completely different than that, and so we put it into two categories. We want to create brands, and we want to create them in two categories, what we call relevant product brands and anyway product brands. Anyway products are just highly consumable, everyday products that you and I buy. We probably don't even think about it. We just buy them all the time, whether it's toothpaste or shampoo or garbage bags or razor blades or shaving cream or lotion or, whatever it happens to be, just everyday type products that you're going to spend your money on, okay? So we are going to have a whole category of anyway type products. The other thing that we're going to do is we are going to make it a focus, and we've put some panels together with some very esteemed colleagues that we work with who are doctors, who are scientists, who are formulators, who are very unique and highly qualified individuals that we've assembled as a team to look at the latest, greatest in science and in medicine and all of those things to say, what is truly available out there that we can access that will make a difference to people's lives, and how can we implement those cost effectively to really add value to a person's life and their health and their, whether it be health, whether it be skincare, personal care, sports, nutrition, services. We want to access those things that are relevant. So that's kind of the strategy. So we've begun to put that strategy together. Okay, let's talk about, this was the very first category that we launched with, so I'm going to just talk about this. This could apply to skincare or personal care or any of the other things that we're working with and currently developing. So, but let's talk about one in particular here, and let's talk about health and nutrition. And I'm going to pick on this for a very specific reason. So if we look at it, most of us spend our life out there. We work from the time we're 20 to the time we're, who knows what, 65, and that age is now going up. People are retiring later and later and later because they can't afford to retire. And there becomes a major issue that we're dealing with in North America right now, and that is that there's a lot of very unhealthy people. We have for the most part, a very unhealthy lifestyle, from the air that we breathe to the things that we eat to fast food. People just don't live a very healthy lifestyle. So, what's the point of developing a long-term successful asset so that you can go and do the things that you want to do if when you get there, your quality of life is so poor that you can't even enjoy it? And not only is your quality of life poor, but you end up spending a major portion of the work that you did and the dollars that you accumulated to now try and fix health situations that could have been handled and resolved earlier if we would have just put you in a position to be more successful with your health. So our goal is to simply keep people away from the doctor as long as we can possibly keep them away from the doctor. And so this set of products was put together from daily indulge to reduce, which both have to do with eating better, losing some weight, for those of you that have that goal in mind. And I'm personally, I can speak to that because on just those two alone, I got involved at 210 and I put these products to the test and lost 30 pounds and feel better than ever. So they've been fantastic for me too. Really life-supporting vitality products like Sustain, which are literally leading the industry in the science behind this product called Sustain. Products like Relieve that help with inflammation in the body, to products like Activate. We all need to drink more water. Most people just don't like to drink water. So we created a very healthy, great tasting beverage with raspberry ketones and green tea extract and noni and vitamin D, things that people need in their life every day. So they're incredible products. And rather than spend a lot of time on those, the person that you're watching this with or going through this with will have some information that they will leave with you, an audio CD and a catalog that you can take the time to get in. You can also go to the website at avisae.com and click on the products, and we have all of the studies and all the white papers that are listed on all the clinical trials and studies of all the active ingredients of everything that we've put together, all the science behind them. So there will be plenty of time to go in and research products. Let me just say this. They're literally incredibly relevant products that will make a difference in your life from the inside and the outside. And we really have an objective here through one of our doctors, Dr. JB, to create a vitality curve. And that vitality curve means that we want to give people a more longevity in their life and a better quality of life for as long as we can possibly sustain that longevity. So, and we can speak to that more and you can get more information on that. So let's talk about how we take these products, goods, and services and how we utilize those in a channel commerce business to begin to create cash flow channels. So one of the greatest assets that we know that everybody has is we live in an incredibly connected world. And in this connected world that we live in right now, whether it's through Facebook or Twitter or social media of whatever kind it is, and there's all kinds of different channels to do that, it's really incredible the amount of people that we can reach with the click of a button, okay? I think the average user probably has anywhere from 100 to 200. I talk to people sometimes that have 1,000 Facebook friends, and I'm like, 1,000 Facebook friends, And it's unique and it's great, but the problem I see with it is, how do you utilize that other than telling people where you're going on vacation or posting, what happened to your kids, or like me, posting pictures of my new granddaughter? That's a great place to do that, and it's a unique platform to keep up with people. But could we take the fact that we're so connected and create a scenario in business where we can now all leverage that so that we can all produce profit? And there is absolutely, without a doubt, a way to do that. So we're going to take advantage of something that you already have, which is the greatest asset, which is who you know. So let's take who you know and put it into a real simple model. And I'm going to show you how very simply you can take an easy scenario like a 3x3x3 and just through that scenario create an extra $1,500 a month. Now, understand before I get into this that as we met with these people that are leading the way and leading the charge with this Blue Ocean Business Group, some of them, like I said, responsible for over $1 billion in volume in business being developed over the years, we simply asked them the question, in a perfect world, how could we create the proper structure for long-term sustainability and the proper compensation plan and reward program so that those two things work together with each other rather than working apart? And I've seen it. Trust me, I've been part of it even on a personal level, where in order to create a long-term sustainable business, sometimes it didn't align or work with the commission structure, but you had to do it anyway or you wouldn't have a long-term sustainable business. So we wanted to eliminate that, because remember, we're building this from the ground up. This is our business. We can do whatever we want to do here. So in creating this, we simply asked the Blue Ocean Business Group, what's the best way to create compensation that works for everybody and creates the proper structure and pays for that structure accordingly, so that when they do a little, they make a little. When they do a little bit more, they make a little bit more. When they do a little bit more, they make a little bit more, and so on. So what we're really looking at here through these three channels is really a method of distribution. Now, if you're a company that has a product, good, or a service, the major thing that you're looking for is distribution. You want to know how you're going to get this product out into the marketplace. So the greater distribution that we have, the more and more of those companies then literally come to us rather than us having to go to them. They begin to come to us and say, look, we want to have access to your distribution channel. Therefore, we end up controlling that conversation and saying, great, we'll work with you, but you have to bring the cost down to this. There has to be this kind of profitability to it. We need this kind of customer service. And we begin to control all the things that make that a successful opportunity for us, because we're the ones that have the thing that they need, which is distribution. So how do we take advantage of that? What we will do is we will get with you and we will begin to help you set up 3 channels. So you take 3 people that you know. Now you may know hundreds of people. We're looking for 3. We're not looking for 40. We're not looking for 80. We're looking for 3. We may talk to 5 or 10 to find 3 that see things like you see them, that are as excited about moving ahead with their financial life as you are, and that's fine. We understand that everyone's not looking. But for those that are looking, that we can provide an opportunity to be part of this platform, we're going to find 3 of them. We're going to take those 3, we're going to teach them to be their own best customer, buy the goods and services that are currently available through access to those products, goods, and services that we have, and they will continue to grow. It'll go from where it is now to literally hundreds and eventually thousands of products, goods, and services in that marketplace. Simply utilize those products, goods, and services in your own life. By just doing that, you will create volume. So the other option there, obviously, is that you can take any of those items, goods, and services that you're buying at your cost as a business owner, and you could sell them at a retail cost and make the difference. So it's a combination of both, but become your own best customer, and then you'll probably create some outside customers as well, just because of the quality of the products and goods and services that we'll give you access to. When you have 3 of those channels that are each doing 100 points a month in volume, 100 points would be equal to, and that's PV stands for point value, so it would be equal to between $120 to about $165, depending on the exact product mix that you ordered and utilized each month. But in doing that, you would produce a $50 a month residual. Not somewhere in the neighborhood of $50, not somewhere around $50. No, exactly $50 you will produce. Now keep in mind, there's 18 different commission structures, and I'm only talking about one of them here. We're going to expand it from there. What do? We do the same thing that we did with you, with them. They have contacts, they have connections, they have those same assets that you have. So we simply go out, we share that idea, we find those people that are looking, that are viewing things like you're viewing, that are like-minded in their efforts, and we simply set them up in business. We now help those frontline 3 make 50. In doing so, you make 250. Once again, not somewhere in the neighborhood, not a roundabout, no, 250 exactly, because this is a structured bonus. You get paid for creating this structure. The reason we've done it that way, because we know through the experience that we have and the group of leadership the group of leaders that we deal with in the Blue Ocean Business Group, that this is the best foundational structure for long-term success. So when we then set up an additional 3 now, that second tier is all at $50. That first tier you've now helped get to $250. You're at $1,500 a month. So here's a simple way that you can go out in a very reasonable time frame. Whether you just are worried about paying your telephone bill, your cell phone bill next month, or whether you've got that all figured out and you just want to take $1,500 a month and put it towards an investment portfolio, here's an opportunity to simply go out in this Quicksilver method. 3 who get 3 will help you do it, produce an additional $1,500 a month. At that point in time, we shift. We've got a base in place. Now we shift to what we call the accelerator program. The accelerator program is a concept called depth. How that works is every time you drive 3 channels 8 deep, you pick up an additional $800. So if we had 3 channels 16 deep, there'd be another $800. If you have 3 channels 24 deep, that's another $900. If you add all of those up and add it to the initial $1,500 we talked about in this structure, just this structure in and of itself creates a $4,000 a month perpetual ongoing income. Now, I don't know where you're at financially, but I'm guessing that even if you're at 6 figures, an additional almost $50,000 a year in income can help you get towards that asset base that you want to develop long term much, much quicker, okay? It can be done simply, it can be done effectively, and I didn't say it was done easy. The concept is very simple. It's going to take work. We know that. It's a business. It's going to take some work. Now, how do we expand it from there? Well, we're going to look for 3 key people, 1 in each one of these channels, in this case represented in the red. If we were to then take them and help them produce that $4,000 a month, you just did it, so all we got to do is help them do it. Once we help 3 do that, you're now at $8,000 plus a month. That plus side could be dramatically higher. It just depends on the actual volumes that are running through these distribution channels and these commerce channels. But you want a way to get yourself to a good 6-figure income? There's a way to do it. We can help 3 other people. You can do that. If we really want to get crazy and look at long-term, couple $100,000 plus a year, we simply take those represented here in the red, and it doesn't matter if it's the first person or the 5th or the 10th or the 20th. If you were to take 3 people, like represented here by the red and the yellow, in each of those channels and help 3 people in each channel get to $4,000 plus a month by going Quicksilver and Accelerator, you'll be at $15,000 plus a month. So incredible opportunity to create something there. And let's take it one step further. Let's take out the Quicksilver and Accelerator just so you can see how some of the other bonuses work here. If we were to take a scenario where you went 3 by 3 by 3 and it was a perfect scenario and you were to do that 10 levels deep, excuse me, if you were to do that 10 levels deep, which it'll never happen that perfectly, but just so you understand the potential here, you'd produce just in team business commissions, $160,470 a month in income. Just in that scenario, if you created 3 by 3 by 3, 10 levels deep, and they were each doing 100 points in volume each month, that's what it would produce. Now, let's say it's not going to be that perfect. Let's say you can only do 10% of that. 10% of that is still $16,000 a month. You add Quicksilver and Accelerator to it, which is another 20 grand a month. I mean, that'll produce 20 grand a month. That's $240,000 a year. That's dramatic, life-changing money. Now, I personally know, because of my own personal efforts in building a business like that, that is a 2 to 5 year plan. And it's not a 2 to 5 year wish or a 2 to 5 years good luck. It's a 2 to 5 year plan. We sit down, we organize it, we systemize it, we plug into a group of people with the Blue Ocean Business Group, and we focus in on exactly what we need to do individually based on our set of circumstances, your set of circumstances. We take the time that you do have, which we know is valuable, we leverage that into a scenario where you take what's in the beginning will be a part-time business, and we evolve that to wherever you want to go. But I think for most of us, eventually we'd like that to be a full-time opportunity, one in which we can leverage our time and our efforts to the point in time where we begin to control our lives and we begin to make the decisions on the things that we want to do for the rest of our lives. I just can't think of anything better. I've always been an entrepreneur. I've been self-employed since I was 23 years old. My mindset is that it's not anything that I was attached to or any boat or house or car. I just simply wanted the opportunity to call my own shots, to do what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it, to be with the people that I wanted to be with, and I just wanted opportunity. And I've never seen one better in my whole life than what's been put together here. The great news is that as it stands today, it's the best thing I've ever seen, and keep in mind, it's the worst it's ever going to be, because it's going to do nothing but get better from here as we continue to work collectively as Avisae and the Blue Ocean Business Group to continue to bring on board the things that are needed to make this the greatest plan that's ever been put together in the industry. And that's what we're committed to do, and that's what we are going to do. And so when you can plug into not only this Tier 1 business now, but a Tier 2 compensation plan, an opportunity where you can collectively have access to the people and the CD through CDs and DVDs and books and sales tools and brochures and web-based support and online support and just the greatest of all those things collectively, back office tracking, commission payments, all those things are all done and ready to go. Well, there's a lot of times we know these things are needed in order to create a long-term successful business, but a lot of times the profit that gets produced on those kind of items goes into the pocket of some individual that's trying to develop and create them. We didn't feel that was the right thing to do. The Blue Ocean Business Group said that wasn't the right thing to do, so we created literally a Tier 2 compensation plan. Makes us different than everybody out there, where everybody can participate in those Tier 2 profits. Whenever there is profit available on this Tier 2 structure, 100% of that goes right back into a compensation plan that you all individually can access by the efforts and size and development of your business. So it's just another way to produce profitability. And then the biggest thing long-term is to access to the legacy asset advisors that can allow you to go out there and put your money to work for you. I love Robert Kiyosaki's quote here. The main reason people struggle financially is because they've spent years in school but learn nothing about money. The result is that people learn to work for money but never learn how to have money work for them. We don't want that to be the case. You can't get where you're wanting to go without having your money work for you. We all know that, but most of us don't have a plan for it. We have a plan for it. So plug into that plan, begin to learn, associate with that group of people, and you'll see some amazing things happen. So there's some things that we've done on this Tier 3, once again, that are unlike anything that's been done before. We're going to give you the opportunity to participate in the annual global commissionable sales volume at Avisae. And that is that you'll have the ability through different opportunities and get with the person that you're watching this with and they'll explain it to you, to earn shares in the company. And at the end of the year, we'll take 1% of the annual global sales volume and it will be divided by the number of shares that you have. I would suggest that you get as many shares as you can possibly get your hands on, because as this opportunity gets out there, when people connect to what we're about and the honesty and the integrity behind this company and behind the people that are involved with the Blue Ocean Business Group, this is going to become huge. And in the process of that, you're going to be able to access a lot of what we call legacy dollars as you go out and earn these shares. So you don't buy them, you earn them. You go out based on the activities and the building of your business, but no other company even gives you that opportunity. So you have an opportunity here to earn those shares. That could turn into something huge. What I find unique is as we begin to grow from the U.S. and Canada that we're currently in, and we begin to go to Japan or to Singapore or to India or wherever it might be, we may end up doing $100 million a year in business in India. You don't ever even know anyone in India, yet you participate in the profits of that because you've earned shares and you've earned the right to participate. So very unique compensation structure. How do you get started? One of three ways: $79.95, $199, or $299. I'm going to kind of leave it at that. It's your option. It's your choice. What I find unique is I've never seen a business out there that you can get involved in that's $299 a month and yet has unlimited upside potential. I personally have been involved in business that cost me millions of dollars to open and start that didn't even have upside potential. They had potential, but they didn't have unlimited potential. And they didn't come without building and overhead and employees and all of those things that typically go along with a business. And we still had to be in a red ocean opportunity. So here's what's cool. You have access to a blue ocean opportunity with unlimited upside potential, and you can do all that and access all the components of that simply by going and getting involved for anywhere from $79 to $299. So I think $299 is the best way to go. Greatest savings on the product bundle. It gives you access to a suite of products there in the Optimal Nutrition line that are that go together very well, that will be very helpful to your health, and other people will get a chance to see that as well. So that's the way I would go, but that's up to you, and we're just here to support you however we can. So take some time tonight. Sit down and really look at the things that you would like to do. Maybe you want to go on an African safari or go ski the mountains of Park City, Utah, or go to the Bahamas. And who doesn't want to go out in one of those little cabanas there on the water and just hang out there until you're done? But anyway, maybe it's the college education for the kids and no one is taken care of, or maybe just my wife loves just a day at the massage once in a while. Just go get a massage and just go to the spa and get away from it all. But whatever it happens to be, I hope you have a big dream. I hope you can honestly sit down and write down those things that really matter to you most, and then let's sit down and look at what we can do to help you get there. Get back with the person that invited you. They're going to leave you some information. Take that information, listen to it, go through it, go to the website, look and study. Let's get your questions answered. We're available here as well to answer any questions you might have. We really look forward to meeting you, spending time with you, and really helping you pursue the dreams and goals and the things that you want out of your life. And we're here to do that by helping you create the assets that you need to do that. We do that through getting people connected, keeping those people connected, and allowing them access to the things that they need to do it. So it's been great being with you, spending a few minutes with you. We look forward to getting to know you more and seeing your dreams come true. Thanks.